Hello, welcome. It is Tuesday, actually. I did not get this out yesterday like I normally do, but I did pull the cards and the coin yesterday. So, toss the coin. Yeah. So, today is Tuesday, April 29th. We are almost done with April, fully in Taurus season. The best this season, if I do say so myself. And today is a third line day. Today is a third line day. We are in this cross of four ways, and we are going to be getting hit with this energy of realization. That's what it's called. Let me just double check here. Returning. The natural and spontaneous process of transformation and renewal. Yes. And so this is the line of the addict, the powerful attraction of regressive forms, the difficult but possible task of overcoming irrationality, and the irrationality maintained and legitimized by success. Oh, wow. Why did that one hit so hard? I don't know. Maybe because I'm an American living in this country with the president. And it is being grounded by interference, the failure to interact based on circumstances, the alertness and instinct to handle the ego of others. That's nice. All the way through the possibility that the instinct cannot handle the ego of others. Well, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. Or maybe it's perfection. And so we have this channel here, the channel of money, a design of the materialist. And I think that's interesting. So we are in the energy of a manifester, if we were to look at both sides here. And so, yeah, let's take a look at what the coins have for us today. What am I looking for here? Anyway, moving on. Let's not get too distracted. Okay, so today, or yesterday, this is what they really wanted us to know today as we're going into this last couple of days of April. Into hexagram 43, breakthrough, resoluteness. Let me do this. Wow, I am not coordinated this morning. Okay, this hexagram signifies, on the one hand, a breakthrough. After a long accumulation of tension, as a swollen river breaks through its dikes, or in the manner of a cloudburst. On the other hand, applied to human conditions, it refers to the time when inferior people gradually begin to disappear. Their influence is on the wane. As a result of resolute action, a change in conditions occurs, a breakthrough. The hexagram is linked with the third month, April, May. Well, that's interesting. That's exactly where we are, isn't it? Here's the judgment. Breakthrough. One must resolutely make the matter known. At the court of the king, it must be announced truthfully. Danger. It is necessary to notify one's own city. It is not further to resort to arms. It furthers one to undertake something. Even if only one inferior man is occupying a ruling position in a city, he's able to oppress superior men. Even a single passion still lurking in the heart has power to obscure reason. Passion and reason cannot exist side by side. Therefore, fight without quarter is necessary, if the good is to prevail. In a resolute struggle of the good against evil, there are, however, definite rules that must not be disregarded if it is to succeed. First, resolution must be based on a union of strength and friendliness. Second, a compromise with evil is not possible, Evil must under all circumstances be openly discredited, nor must our own passions and shortcomings be glossed over. Third, the struggle must not be carried on directly by force. If evil is branded, it thinks of weapons, and if we do it the favor of fighting against it blow for blow, we lose in the end, because thus we ourselves get entangled in hatred and passion. Therefore, it is important to begin at home, to be on guard in our own persons against the faults we have branded. In this way, finding no opponent, the sharp edges of the weapons of evil become dulled. For the same reasons, we should not combat our own faults directly. As long as we wrestle with them, they continue victorious. Finally, the best way to fight evil is to make energetic progress in the good. I mean, come on. If this message is not so needed. The image. The lake has risen up to heaven. The image of breakthrough. Thus the superior man dispenses riches downward and refrains from resting on his virtue. When the water of a lake has risen up to heaven, there is reason to fear of a cloudburst. Taking this as a warning, the superior man forestalls a violent collapse. If a man were to pile up riches for himself alone without considering others, it would certainly experience a collapse, for all gatherings is followed by dispersion. Therefore, the superior man begins to distribute while he is accumulating. In the same way, in developing his character, he takes care not to become hardened in obstinacy, but to remain receptive to impressions by help of strict and continuous self-examination. All right, so we had a couple of lines here. Yes, 9 at the 5th place. This means in dealing with weeds, firm resolution is necessary. Walking in the middle remains free of blame. Weeds always grow back again and are difficult to exterminate. So too, the struggle against an inferior man in a high position demands firm resolution. One has certain relations with him. Hence, there is danger that one may give up the struggle as hopeless. But this must not be. One must go on resolutely and not allow himself to be deflected from his course. Only in this way does one remain free of blame. And we got a 6 at the top. And that means no cry. In the end, misfortune comes. Victory seems to have been achieved. There remains merely a remnant of the evil resolutely to be eradicated as the time demands. Everything looks easy. Just there, however, lies the danger. If we are not on guard, evil will succeed in escaping by means of concealment, and when it has eluded us, new misfortunes will develop from the remaining seeds. For evil does not die easily. So too, in dealing with the evil in one's own character, one must go to work with thoroughness. If, out of carelessness, anything were to be overlooked, new evil would arise from it. Wow. 43. Breakthrough. That's heavy. And that's good stuff right there. So, White Light Oracle deck. I only pulled one card yesterday. Didn't feel like there needed to be more. So we just have the one, which is card number 26, Deer of Delta. Without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level because the real you is always empowered and protected in the light. Some things can only happen when we let go at the deepest inner level. Regenerative healing is one of them. Shamans of old understood that to obtain transformational awareness, one has to sever themselves from the world as one knows it, to unlearn what one once knew, to be reborn. In that rebirth, a new understanding and vitality, clarity, and purpose can emerge. The shamanic realm is the realm of the delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. Here, one is completely unconscious. There's temporary paralysis at this level, which allows for the deeper healing and renewal. Here, the gateway to the universal mind is entered, and the precious recalibrating treasures of healing are gained. In Delta, we surrender completely to a great and powerful intelligence far beyond our understanding. At 0 hertz to 4 hertz, delta waves are the slowest and most stabilizing of the brain waves. This is the state in which the body recovers from injury, and the brain has a chance to check off its list of deferred repairs and healing and restore optimal function. This includes the capacity to learn and the healthy functioning of the immune system, physically and also emotionally, so we are not contaminated or confused by the emotional or psychic workings of the world around us. This oracle brings guidance that the healing you need cannot come from logical sources, but requires a deep letting go and restructuring from within. Consider what practices and people could help facilitate this process in your life. Consider how you may value and encourage deep restorative sleep and regular retreats as part of your lifestyle. The Greek nymph Tegete called upon her beloved goddess Artemis to protect her from unwanted advances from a powerful suitor. In response, the goddess transformed Tegete into a doe so she would be safe from harm. I might be saying that wrong. Tegete teaches us that we can become vulnerable, like the gentle deer, in the spiritual sanctuary of our devotion, protected by a greater source. Then there is no need to become aggressive or harsh, defend ourselves from the aggression of another. We can let go and allow ourselves to be held. This is a way to ward off negativities without needing to disconnect from our softness and grace. Even if you are dealing with intense negativities from a particularly powerful opponent, Deer of Delta encourages you to call for spiritual intervention with complete confidence in the grace that will instantly and consistently be bestowed. Your strength and power can flow from your spiritual connection. If you have been advised to toughen up, you are encouraged instead to remain true to yourself and find your strength within. The healing process. Be seated somewhere comfortable. If you are a visual person, you can follow the visualization below, allowing the symbols to enter into your soul without having to analyze or interpret them. If you are more of a feeling person, read the description below aloud, noticing any emotions or sensations that arise as you do so, and allowing them to soak into your soul without needing to analyze or interpret them. To prepare yourself, connect consciously with your breath as it flows in and out. Allow the breath to become deeper and more complete, calming and centering you in the present moment. You may place a hand over your heart to connect to your inner essence. Relax. Allow yourself to become receptive to a heart level, open and willing to take some symbolic nourishment to empower, protect, and heal you. When you are ready, read and visualize or feel the following description. You are at the edge of a green forest in a mild spring day. Sunlight filters softly through the canopy, creating a golden haze. A small clearing is illuminated by the diffuse light. There, a sweet doe gently nuzzles at some grasses. She is peaceful and intent upon her task. The scene exudes a feeling of tranquility. You see that tranquility as a field of energy. It is a protective bubble of light that encapsulates the deer and keeps her safe. You have the sense that even though she may appear to be alone, she is protected by an invisible field of grace. Despite her apparent vulnerability, you feel safety and power around Spirit Deer. She survives and thrives whilst being in her own true nature. Rest in this visualization or feeling for as long as you choose. If you wish to do so, allow that feeling of gentleness and safety to emerge from within your own heart and envelop you in a bubble of protective spiritual light as you drift into deeper rest or even sleep. When you are ready to emerge, place both hands at your heart. Allow yourself time to fully enter the here and now. Ground and hydrate yourself. You have completed your healing process. It's beautiful wisdom today about a couple of different pathways, I guess, and how to handle what's going on in the world today. There's a gentle approach, which I guess could be applied to the breakthrough as well. I love it. Please remember to like, follow, subscribe, comment. I love your comments. And if you'd like a reading of your own, a personal reading with your own questions highlighted and, incited, this is a service that I do provide. And if you live in the Sacramento area, I'm also doing a Introduction to Human Design retreat here in Sacramento. And if you're interested in that, there is still seating available. So you should get on that pretty quickly. It's next month, May the 24th on a Saturday. And it's going to be an absolutely tranquil and beautiful experience, great for integrating the knowledge and receiving the knowledge. And as always, love yourself.